If you agree with the message, like and subscribe, share the video, and pass it on. Now let's get straight to it. If the International Court of Justice does not find Israel guilty of genocide, then they are enablers of genocide and they need to disband and just get rid of them. Because the simple fact of the matter is justice and politics are two different things. Justice requires honesty, and that's it. It requires honesty and following the law. South Africa presented the case excellently. They brought out all the facts. You don't need 10 years of study to know that Israel is guilty of genocide. A kid with a sixth grade education can decide this case, okay? A child with a sixth grade education can decide this case. It's open and shut. There is nothing to figure out. Evidence has been presented, and Israel has put their egotistical their egotistical foot in their mouth. It's time to stop playing games. The purpose of the law is to find truth. You find the truth, and then you contrast that with the law. You find the truth, you contrast that with the law. Now, it is bad enough that we are calling Khazars Jews. We know good and well that they are not Jews. They are not Ashkenazi Jews. They're Khazars from the Caucasoid Mountains, however you pronounce it. Now we know that. So it is bad enough that we call them Jews because, first of all, the premise that they are working on is calling themselves Jews and saying that the Palestinians stole that land from them. See, that should have been the first thing that came up in court. We should not be calling them Jews. This reminds me of the fairy tale of the emperor with no clothes on. The emperor with no clothes on and people telling him that he looks beautiful in his new clothes. They are not Jews. And they have no business in Palestine in the first place. And the United States is guilty of putting them there. And we know this too. So why are we playing games? Now, if the International Court of Justice doesn't want to recognize the truth, then they should be disbanded. And not only should they be disbanded, the United Nations should be disbanded. And they should have been disbanded 50 years ago, as soon as Israel started taking land from the Palestinians. That was their home. There is no way in the world that you can't call this genocide when the Israelis were put in Palestine and now they're in control of Palestine and talking about Palestine, whether or not Palestine deserves a state. Palestine was a state. Why are we playing these silly games? Palestine was a state until the Khazars were placed there, and now they're taking over and they're saying it's their state. That's just like America. That's just like Caucasian Europeans coming to America and then taking the land from the Native Americans. And then talking about they're not immigrants. It's time for civilization. It's time for civilization. Now, you can have all the technology you want, but if you are not living in truth, you are not civilized. See, civilization comes with requirements. And the first requirement is to use your common sense. Now, if you're not using your common sense, then you might as well be a wild beast running around in Africa. And that's what Caucasians are. Just like wild beasts running around in Africa, talking about we did this, and you haven't done nothing. You're uncivilized. You are mentally unclean. You are parasitic. You live off other people because you don't have the intelligence to live off of yourself. You see, truth is not something that you identify with. Lies are what you identify with. And I'm going to tell you this, a country that does not know the difference between a man and a woman is sick, is ignorant. Beyond ignorant, it is stupid to even come up with that narrative. And then offering Africa $400 million to be gay? To be gay? Are you out of your mind? It is time. I'm sick of racism, and I'm not playing the racist game no more. I'm calling an idiot an idiot. And I'm going to tell you this. Revelations 2, verse 11. I'm not worried about my soul dying. I'm not worried about my body dying. I'm worried about my soul dying. And I'm going to tell you this. It's time to find out who murdered Rasheen Carter and address that. Because I tell you this, they come at me, then I'm going to take bodies. My plan is to take your body. You take mine, I take yours, I don't care. This body don't mean nothing to me. It's my soul that I'm worried about. And I tell you this, I'm a spiritual person. You can have this body, but my soul will be waiting on yours, and you will pay repercussions. See, there is a place where truth matters. There is a place where truth matters, and there will be a reckoning there. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.